Hi everyone, welcome to Mrs. Lin's kitchen. Ni hao. Today I'm going to show you how to make Cantonese style BBQ pork or Char Siu. It literally means grilled pork in Mandarin Chinese. Char Siu served in the restaurant are baked in the vertical ovens where the heat is evenly distributed. Today I'm going to show you a home version using a regular oven. So let's get started. So one of the ingredients in the list is red fermented bean curd, and the reason that it's red is because it has a red rice in it, and it actually helps make that red color in the char siu. But if you cannot find this red fermented bean curd, don't worry about it. Just use the bean paste and it will be okay. So I have a 1 pound pork butt here. It's already cut up. When I got them, it was probably like this, and I cut them across the grain, the pork grain. So and you wanted to cut it so it's elongated. It's into one long strips, and you wanted to cut it to about half to 3/4 inches thick. So, and then after it has been cut like this, then you want to use a fork to kind of poke the meat on both sides. And the reason for doing so is so that when you started marinating the meat with all the sauces and seasoning you prepare, it will easily go in.
Start by adding 1 tablespoon of soy sauce, then 2 tablespoons of rice wine. For this recipe, SHAO rice wine is preferred, but you can use any rice wine and it will still be fine. Then pour in 1 tablespoon of oyster sauce, 1 tablespoon of HOISEN sauce, 1 tablespoon of bean sauce, 2 tablespoons of sugar, and finally 1 cube of the fermented bean curd. Mix well until all ingredients have mixed together. You can then add in the sliced shallot and mix again. Once all ingredients are all mixed together, you can then add in the pork and coat with the sauce. Allow the pork to marinate in the sauce either in the bowl or in the Ziploc bag for at least 1 day, but longer is better. For this batch, we have marinated for 3 days. Once the pork has marinated, preheat your oven to 450 degrees Fahrenheit and place the meat onto a raised cooking rack and baking pan. You may want to experiment with the cooking temperature a couple times because every oven is different. You will want to spread out the pork and make sure none of the pieces are overlapping each other. You can then place the tray and rack into the center rack of your oven and allow it to bake for 20 minutes. Once 20 minutes has passed, carefully flip over the pork and make sure not to overlap the pieces once again. Place into the oven and bake for another 20 minutes. While waiting, you can prepare the honey glaze with 1 tablespoon of sugar, 3 tablespoons of water, and 4 tablespoons of honey. Mix well until all ingredients have combined. After 20 minutes has passed, bring out the pork and use a basting brush to coat the honey glaze mixture onto the pork. Do this while the pork is still warm. Flip over and glaze the other side as well. You will see some of the edges charred on the pork, which is desired for this dish. Some have a preference of baking the pork for 5 more minutes after the honey glaze is placed on. However, this is optional. Once 5 minutes has passed, cut the pork against the grain into long strips, and you're all done.
So here's the chashu. It always tastes good with a better rice and along with some greens such as steamed bok choy or broccoli. The pickled vegetable also tastes good, and you can find the recipes and how to cook it in our other YouTube videos. And chashu, it's an easy dish. You can always make it ahead of the time, of like few days earlier. And then when you're ready to enjoy, then just put it in the oven and bake it for about half an hour to 40 minutes, depending on how thick the meat is, and kind of make sure adjust the temperature as well. So I hope you enjoy watching me show you how to make chashu today. Please don't forget to subscribe to our channel, and happy eating!